everybody, Seth V here for the Knife Center with Terrell of Todd Knife and Tool at the Bestech booth.
Nice to see you, Seth.
Yeah, good to see you too.
So, we want to go through the Bestech knives that are coming out for 2024?
Absolutely, we got a big spread of stuff across here. Let's start on that end and we'll head this way.
All right, well, to get started, you guys have seen the original Nixie. Front flipper. Well, for Bestech and Todd Knife and Tool, we've shrank it down a little bit to a 2.9 inch to fit those district square areas where you have to have that less than 3 inch.
Absolutely.
And we've made it a flipper instead of the front flipper like the original Nixie. 4 different colorways, got some forged carbon fiber or crush, I'm not sure what they're calling it, and hollow ground. That's
nice.
Something I'm not sure is in all the literature on it, but it is hollow ground on the Nixie 3.
Sweet. Yeah, really nice to have a hollow ground blade for EDC.
Absolutely.
Excels at slicing, of course. And on a blade shape like this, too, you got just almost like a razor-like profile.
Absolutely.
Not too much belly to the edge. Nice clipped point for good aggression, working with the tip. Yeah, and of course you got that finger choil, too, to choke up and get full use of the handle for really bearing down. Awesome. Looks like there's another version of this, too?
Yes, there is. And for this model, we went back to having our bronze and black.
Cool.
We had went full stealth for a couple of models. People told us they wanted it back, so here it is.
Awesome.
And of course, our signature pocket clips.
Yeah, very cool, very stylish. I like the semi-floating backspacer design.
Yeah, we
got some cutouts there.
Yeah, lightened it up for this one because small knife needs to be light, easy to carry.
Yeah, great balance on it. All right, as I put these back, let's talk about what's next.
All right, next up we have the Chi-Chi. This was designed by our sales manager's daughter.
Grab this one here.
Yep, we got 3 of them here for you to look at. But she designed it after the Cricket, and she draws. She's a great little artist. She drew this out, and then O-Step Hell helped her get the mechanics right. And
that's fun.
And it is a lock open, lock close button lock.
That's beautiful. I mean, the simplicity of it, it's sort of bug-like, kind of dagger-like.
Yeah.
I could see how it could come from a child's drawing, you know, like just in the simplicity of the silhouette.
Absolutely. And, you know, the cool thing is it's going to be, I think our MSRP on it is $70. I don't know what that's going to turn into for MAP, but $70, and it's going to come in a plethora of SKUs and colors.
Sweet. Yeah, we got 3 here. Looks like brown G10, red aluminum, Ultim right there. And do they all have 14C 28N blade steel?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So going to be a good price point on this. And then the only way to get it open and closed is to push the button.
That's
and
correct.
Just kind of flick it open.
Yeah, no springs, no automatic. It's just a manual lock open, lock closed.
Works great. Nice to have the sculpted pocket clip too on a nice affordable design.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty classy.
It's often that you don't get that.
Yeah. Sweet. These are going to be fun.
Uh-huh.
All right. Next up, we've got the VK Core. This is a, I was about to call it an everyday carry fixed blade, but it's a little long for that. Like, I'd never carry this as a neck knife, but I could see it making a great pocket fixed blade.
Pocket fixed blade, field fixed blade, I would use it as a shop knife myself.
Oh, okay.
Because, in fact, I have similar designs I've made in my own shop that are, they live there.
Yeah. Nice kind of drop to the silhouette so that you can get the whole edge on a cutting board.
Absolutely, and it's still got a little curve to the edge, so you've got a little bit of belly to work with. Now, one thing with this designer is there's always a brass dot on his designs.
That's cool. This is the signature of, what's the designer's name?
Vulpex Designs.
Vulpex Designs, yeah.
And we'll see one more of his here in a minute, a folder. It's got a similar brass dot on it.
Yeah, and a similar sort of blade shape too. This kind of modified Warncliffe thing going on. Looks like a 14C28N blade steel on this as well.
Yes.
You happen to know the street price of this? As we consult the sheet?
MSRP is 110.
Okay, so it's going to be a little lower than that
Yeah.
when it comes to KnifeCenter, but super sweet daily carry option or shop knife. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But you could even hang it up on a hook.
Well, I just leave them laying all over the shop because
that's where they end up.
I make them myself, so in theory they don't cost me anything.
In theory, right.
Right.
Sounds like shop math.
Yes, shop math, absolutely.
This next one is the Bruv.
Yeah.
Designed by Galvoic Design?
Galvanic Designs, I believe is how we're saying that. Galvoic.
Forgive us, this designer's new to me as well.
He's new to me too. I haven't met the person yet. Galvoic Designs, maybe, but
we'll go with that.
Either way, super cool little sheep's footy Warncliffe type thing.
Yeah, front flipper.
And almost a sway back in the way that blade and handle shape.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you get your hand on it.
There's a little bit of that curvature there.
Yeah.
It brings the handle up. It doesn't feel like it in the hand. I was handling this earlier, and I would have never clocked it as a sway back just from kind of gripping it.
Right.
Sometimes a sway back, kind of dips
Sure.
up and gets into your palm a little bit. This one does not have that character. It's got a very full-fisted handle to it.
And a very interesting pocket clip on this guy. It's a bent clip. Well, no, it isn't. That is a full TI clip, but it's
kind of shaped like a bent clip.
Shaped like a bent clip, and really thin.
Nice. So it's gonna have a good springiness.
Yeah.
Sweet. Titanium frame lock. This is one of the more premium Bestechs, so looks like M390 steel.
Yep. So we got M390 black version, and I'm not sure how many versions. At least 3 versions with an MSRP of $270 on this guy.
Sweet.
So interesting. That ought to hit the spot for a lot of people out there.
Yeah. A lot of people out there love the sheep's foot style blade. You got that good cutting power with a still quite a precision tip. Just great for like utility cutting, everyday stuff.
And it seems to flip pretty good. I
that.
like that.
Definitely. I can't tell if I'm getting better at front flippers or if front flippers are getting better.
Well,
maybe a combination of both.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I have my own little issues with some of the front flipper designers, but we'll talk about them later.
So we're going to jump down significantly in price from the Titanium and M390 stuff to the Bestech Man line with this Firebird, a button lock design. Got a nice deep carry pocket clip on it. Just peel ply G10 scales, utilitarian, durable. I dig the purple and black on this colorway.
And the action on these guys is just, for the price points they're going to hit, it's just amazing.
Really nailing that button lock fluidity. I didn't even move my hand and it sort of just drops shut.
Yep.
But the precision of Bestech's manufacturing is there, even though the price point is way lower.
Right, and that's one of the things with Bestech. From Bestech Man all the way up to the crazy one we were looking at earlier that's got an MSRP of like $800 and some. The manufacturing processes are the same. It's the materials that change. So it's the same quality whether you're buying the $50 knife or the $800 knife.
Yeah.
It's just a material change to change the price. Or design changes.
Sure. I dig the lines on this one.
Yeah.
Got a subtle kind of a Canadian belt knife thing going on slightly.
Yeah, and the designer did a really good job with the blade following that same swoop.
Yeah.
So keeping everything in line and looking good.
It's still going to work like a drop point. Reversible deep carry clip on it. Yeah. Going to be sweet. Next up is the Cicada's Wing. This one caught my eye because, of course, it has a crossbar lock, which we love to see. But check out the thinness on that blade. It is like surprisingly thin.
It is.
Yeah.
That's whenever they first handed it to me, whenever I got to the show, I was like, wow, it's thin. And then I did that and I was like, really? That is just, for a crossbar lock knife, that is just, it's the way you always wanted that other brand to work.
Yeah, the way that it kind of like, you want it to have the way it just sucks back into the handle. Like crossbar lock knives, as you probably know, they don't have traditional detents that hold it in a single place. There's some springiness to it.
No, but when they go to close, if it works right, it pulls your fingers up and it's time to let go.
Yeah.
And that they've nailed that shape on the thing of that blade.
Yeah, very intuitive to use. It just tells you how to use it. Looks like the same deep period pocket clip on this one.
I'm not sure if that one's
not reversible. Maybe that's a prototype thing.
It could be. This is a prototype of that knife, so.
Yeah. We got our fingers crossed that it'll come with a reversible clip.
You guys want a reversible clip, put it in the comments.
Yeah. Let Bestech know.
And we'll let Selena know. She'll take care of it.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, with a blade this thin, this broad, and flat ground like this is going to just cleave through materials.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's got a baked on coating. I'm not sure which coating. And I don't, but from what I understand, this one's going to come again in a plethora of colorways.
Sweet. Yeah, so if this red and jade is not to your liking, I'm sure there's going to be just a more vanilla.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. One difference too, before we move on, I wanted to point out, this one has smooth and slightly contoured scales too. Mm-hmm. So it gives you that little more, it's not necessarily more comfortable, but it's smoother and kind of nice.
It just has that sweet hand feel.
Yeah.
That you don't always get from a G10 knife.
A little more premium, maybe.
Yeah.
Blade steel on this is going to be 10 CR.
15.
Yep. Same as the Firebird here. Bestech Men Designs, they all use the 10 CR 15.
For the most part, we do have some in D2
some in
of
D2.
the older designs.
Okay, sweet. Going to be a great value for sure. Next up is the Zento, and this one uses 14C28N, and it's designed by Ostapel.
Yes.
Also a button lock. Nice flicky action there.
Absolutely, and the standout feature here is Ostap has taken the opportunity to take your standard bent clip and make it something a little more interesting than what we get on almost every bent clip knife.
Much more slender there, a little longer. Still got good spring to it, and that's going to carry super deep. It's almost a little beyond the handle, so it's just going to bury itself in there.
And it's left or right hand.
Nice.
And they even gave you an extra set of screws to fill the empty screw holes.
Oh, that's nice. I always kind of appreciate that. Classy touch there.
Absolutely.
This feels a little more like gentlemanly of a design, even though the materials are very hard working. You know, just the slenderness, the precision of that point there.
Yeah, it's got that Ostap feel, a little more upscale no matter what price point it's at.
Yeah. And sweet. It's pretty light too for having full liners. They're aggressively skeletonized on the inside, so good balance on this. That is the Zento. Next up is the Ivy.
Yes, that's another Ostap design.
Got this cool hawkbill blade, aggressive cutter. I mean, the great thing about a hawkbill is that it just gathers material as you cut, so it feels like they never slip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and those, they're really good for a large number of things. I use them as emergency knives in all my emergency kits, the hawkbill knives.
Yeah.
Because you never know whenever you need that pointy point to get up under somebody's clothes in an accident or something like that to get the restriction away.
Mm-hmm. Nice. This one, of course, is a flipper. Got great action. Full liners again, but skeletonized for pretty good balance. And got some interesting detail in the milling on these handles. They're smooth G10, but they've been beveled and kind of concave here in the middle.
Yeah, if he gets the light on it just right, it's got a really neat line down the middle of it.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, Ostap always puts in a little extra detail.
Absolutely.
Like that. Yeah. Next up is the Mantis.
Okay.
This one is a real emergency knife.
Yes, that is definitely the kind I would carry. And there's a story to go along with this knife. Our sales manager, Selena, her son keeps some manti as pets. I hope I'm saying the plural of that correctly. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're good. And he designed this knife off observing his pets and named it the Mantis.
Oh.
And so this The Kiki over here, designed by her daughter at 8 years old, and this one designed by her son at 12.
Cool. I can see the praying mantis inspiration. You've got that like ready to strike blade shape.
Yeah,
Totally.
Absolutely. And it's good to see kids getting into it.
Yeah, that's super fun. Family business over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they all going to come fully serrated like this?
I think there's going to be a smooth one, but I don't have confirmation on that.
Cool. Well, you know, it's cool to see the option. Not a lot of brands do fully serrated edges, unless we're talking bread knives.
Right.
But they have their applications, you know.
Oh, sure.
Especially on a hawkbill like this, you know.
Yeah, and they did
instant cut through cordage.
I was pleased to see that they did the good serrations.
With the different size scallops.
Yeah, and the way they're cut. Some other brands have tried to do serrations recently and had it's been not good. They've had to go back to the drawing board, which they've corrected it, but Bestech took notes from what's not worked out well.
What's working?
And did a pretty good job. And they may have made the mistake too, I'm not sure.
Liner lock on this one. Thumb stud action, flips open great. Let me check the materials here. Looks like 14C28N on this as well.
Absolutely.
Nice,
yeah.
good, tough steel. Going to help those serrations kind of maintain their shape since they are chisel ground. The edge can be aggressively thin on those, so you want a good, tough steel that can hold up to that.
Absolutely. And you want something that whenever you're using a rod is easy to get them back sharp.
Right, yeah.
And you go with D2 or something and it's going to be a real problem.
All right, let's talk about a familiar design with a nice new twist, the Bestech Swordfish with a button lock. So this is that same full-size 4-inch knife, just re-engineered with a button lock mechanism.
It's the same swordfish that we've all come to know and love. I think I've got 2 of them. Mine are the older regular liner locks, but they reimagined it with a button lock for everybody that likes the button locks. And still the single piece 2-color G10, which is
single piece. Interesting.
Yes, if you take this knife apart, that's one continuous piece of G10. They have a method they do use to mate those pieces together, so that
and then they sort of mill it as one.
Yeah,
very cool.
So when the customer takes it apart, it's not a big mess.
Yeah, no fuss putting it back together.
Absolutely,
that's really nice. Oh, that button lock feels great.
Oh yeah. They do a good job with it.
Sweet. Do you happen to know the price point on this one?
I do not, but I'm gonna guess it's not gonna be much more than the current model.
Yeah.
So
probably just a slight increase from the liner lock models, but
right.
Given that it has 14T28N steel,
and
not gonna be aiming for a super high price point.
No. I would say it'd be a slight bump from what we currently have, and that may not even last too long. They're in line.
Check KnifeCenter.com. That's where we'll have the full pricing information and such, especially as these arrive. Next up is the Sandbeck, and I can feel already just picking it up that we're back in the premium tier here. We've got titanium, looks like some kind of fat carbon or camel carbon product.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And the Sandbeck is a flower. I don't remember exactly what genus or however you say that it is, but the pivot has a design in it.
Oh yeah.
To look like similar to the flower, and that's kind of an O-step thing.
That's cool. So still got Torx hardware on this side for adjustment, but on this side it almost looks like there's a little carbide ball in there or something.
Maybe I'm not.
Just a fun little detail.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very elegant. Flipping action is fantastic, of course. That springy titanium frame lock feel. Mm-hmm. I like that the inlays here also kind of guard the frame, so that there's no real worry of putting too much pressure on the lock bar as you flip it open. They kind of help keep your fingers off the sensitive parts of that. Smooth on the shut. Trying to find blade steel here. This has Magna Cut.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I don't have a price on it either.
So we'll see the price on these when they arrive.
Yeah, these last few we're going to go through have not went into production yet.
Okay. We're still talking prototypes.
We're looking at prototypes. Cool. All of them are slated for production, but they're not there quite yet.
Nice. All right, let's check out the Seraph. And this is a Kombu design. I see his maker's mark there on the blade. Lots of flair to his stuff.
Oh yeah.
That huge pivot collar is pretty sweet.
And there may, no guarantees, but there may be some future fun with that pivot collar.
Okay, cool.
Because those big discs come off of that knife whenever you take the pivot apart. Mm-hmm. So use your imagination. Maybe
swappable, maybe something exotic.
I can't confirm any of that.
I guess we'll see. Cool pocket clip on this one too, sort of ultra wide, and it's following the shape of the handle here. Just makes it nice and comfortable too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kombu has some of the craziest looking designs out there. And I love Gregor's, and I'm like, dude, come on, let's do some function. And he keeps putting his knife in my hand, and like, okay, all right, I get it. Yeah, it works.
You did it, yep. Nice. Yeah, it's fun when designers can kind of play with the rules of knife design, pushing them to their limits, but still deliver a knife that's actually going to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of that comes down to the blade shape with this. I mean, we've got a pretty broad clip point profile, but it's ground well. You know, you've got a continuous curve to this belly.
Right.
Definitely going to be good.
Continuous
good
curve to the blade. It's going to cut well, and the knife's going to look good. It's going to impress your friends. It's going to do all the things a good premium titanium folder is supposed to do.
Nice. I'm also noticing M390 steel on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. We got just a couple more. This right here is the VK Navi.
Yeah, that is another one by Vulpex Knives. Very similar to the smaller one that's down here as well. And the customers ask for a bigger version of it. So there we go, nice. Bigger version.
I got the smaller one. This one's already on KnifeCenter.com, so this larger version is coming. A couple differences, mostly in the size, obviously.
The size, and fuller here instead of a blade hole. But still, that brass dot we talked about earlier.
Right, sort of a signature of this designer.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I dig the triangular pivot.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
That's a lot of fun, and it's comfortable in the hand. It doesn't, on first look, it's kind of like some of my own designs. They don't look like it, but whenever you put it in your hand, it just feels good.
Yeah, it's angular, but it's big enough to get a good solid grip on, and just enough space too to get a fingertip up there. If you were going to get right behind the edge. Yeah, sweet.
Kind of depends on how big your finger is, but you're absolutely right.
Yep, true. Nice drop to the edge here too, so maybe even as like a pocket food prep knife.
And I like how he's got these angles here lined up with the frame. Everything runs nice and smooth.
Leading into that fuller.
Right.
Very cohesive.
He didn't leave any angles sitting funny in the design.
Yeah. Super handsome knife.
Clashing with everything else.
For deployment, let me try the reverse flick. This is the first time.
Do it.
Okay, there we go. Easy peasy. And a front flipper as well. Very nice. Last up, we have another one of your designs.
Yes, we do. This is a Spearfisher.
Okay.
And it's from Todd Knife and Tool. We decided that with all of the more tactical knives we had, we needed to get a gentleman's knife out there. So after several iterations, we come up with a Spearfisher. And M390, titanium and carbon fiber, and I believe all of them are going to have carbon fiber in them. Fat carbon on some, different colors and such. And we did a couple of extra things. Hollow ground, it is compound ground, but it's a continuous edge, so it's not one you have to change crazy stuff with your sharpening system. It's flat at the tip, so if you need to stick it in something, it shouldn't break.
A little extra strength, yeah.
Absolutely. And the action on this guy is just...
Yeah, the flipper tab's super subtle in there, but the geometry works perfect. It kicks open every time.
Flipper tab is inline, really small, but it lets you get a lot of torque. I mean, you can make it really loud.
Yeah.
And one little trick that we did is if you slide this down in your jacket pocket or your shirt pocket, it looks like a pin. So you can have your nice titanium knife with you and not scare the natives.
Yeah. I really like the concave dip in the pocket clip there. catches the light, makes it very elegant. If you were going to carry it like in a shirt pocket or something. And you know, for an executive knife, quote unquote, it kind of breaks the mold a little bit. You know, you've got a little
contour
to the hand, a little contour,
little shape.
Yeah.
There's even that little pad for choking up on it a little bit if you you want to.
Just that fingertip though.
Yeah, it's not much, but it's still there.
Nice. Yeah, very elegant. Very cool to see something like this from Todd Knife and Tool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Do you happen to know the price point on this?
I do not yet.
Coming soon.
Yeah, check KnifeCenter.com.
Yep. Oh, look, it's marked prototype right there. So
It is.
we'll see how this one pans out. Very cool.
Yeah, well, that one is going to production. I do know that. And so it will hopefully be in everyone's hands soon.
Cool. All right. Well, we've reached the end of the line.
We have.
Thanks so much, Cheryl.
Yeah. Thank you, Seth. We appreciate you stopping by and talking about the Bestech knives and the Todd Knife and Tool knives, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned to the rest of our SHOT Show 2024 coverage. We got tons more videos coming. Catch you in the next one.